8 weeks to the Valencia Marathon, sub 2:45 goal. Will I make it? The answer is not yet. And in this video I share with you my super challenging training schedule for the next weeks, get me to my goal, and also a recap of the last month of trainings to give you the full context. Let's go! This is going to be the most challenging training block of my 20 plus years running career. But to understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing that, we need to look back at the previous training blocks to see the red line that is connecting everything. In April 2025, I ran the Milan Marathon where I did my personal best in 2 hours, 46 minutes and 58 seconds. After that, I had a month of training because I always train, but it was an easy one. Easy runs, easy intervals. I had to recover from the marathon. Then from the month of June, I started the first intense training block, which I called the Summer of Speed. You find all the details in the video here. And it was a training block to improve my base speed. A lot of short intervals, 300 meters, 400 meters, 600 meters, 1000 meters plus 400 meters. A lot of short intervals to improve my base speed. On top of that, hill sprints and a lot of strength trainings with kettlebells and weight. This training block ended on the 13th of July when I did 4 times 2000 meters at a pace of about 3 minutes and 29 seconds per kilometers, and then 2 times 800 meters at 3:20. Wow, that was incredible. So that training marked the end of the Summer of Speed where I really improved my base speed and I had a spillover effect improving the VO2 max. The next training block from mid-July to mid-August was holidays. Again, I gave you all the details in the previous video. I focused really on 2 things, not getting injured and not losing any fitness from the previous training block. And bonus point, enjoy running on holidays. And I did it indeed. Easy run, 33 kilometers in Crete, seaside view, then relaxing at the swimming pool. Wow, fantastic. Easy fartlek, not pushing too hard. Lot of volume, but at a moderate pace. This training block ended mid-August, and the next one was what I called the Autumn of VO2 Max. Connected to the Summer of Speed, I increased the distance of the intervals, a lot of progression runs as well, to really work specifically on the VO2 max and then aerobic threshold. 22nd of August, like progression run, 5 kilometers plus 5 kilometers plus 5 kilometers at an increasing pace. Very challenging. 3 times 4,000 meters at half marathon pace, 3 minutes and 39 seconds per kilometer, with 1 kilometer easy run recovery. Again, very long distance intervals, pushing on the VO2 max, pushing on a lactate threshold. And by the way, life doesn't stop, so I had to travel. As usual, I went to New York beginning of September, so I did my 6 times 1000 meters intervals on track in Brooklyn, fantastic. And then another progression run, 5 plus 5 plus 5, but this time in Central Park. Iconic. It doesn't get better than this. I was probably the happiest person in New York that month. This training block ended with 2 very specific workouts. The first one, 14th of September, long run 21 kilometers plus tempo run 10 kilometers. The twist, no breakfast, 0 gels, and low carbs the night before. Wow, this was really challenging. I really had to dig deeper in order to get to the finish of the tempo run, but I executed that very well. 4 minutes and 34 seconds kilometer in the easy run and 3:55 in the tempo run. And the last stride of the Autumn of VO2 Max, 10 times 800 meters in 2 minutes and 45 seconds with a 200 meters recovery in 1 minute. Wow, I went really fast. I was supposed to do them in 2:55, but I felt great. I felt with a lot of energy. I was pushing, always in control. After this, I had a couple of weeks of races. Lugano Half Marathon on the 28th of September. I did my new personal best in 1 hour, 17 minutes and 29 seconds. Really good, considering as well that it was really hot, 20 plus degrees. They made me go the wrong way for a couple of meters in the second lap. But all in all, a PB is always a PB. I can't complain about that. And 2 weeks after, 8 weeks to the Valencia Marathon, 7th of December 2025, I ran the Corri Pavia half marathon again in Pavia, my hometown. I was there on holiday. I took it as a, I would say, intense training, 1 hour, 19 minutes and 44 seconds. I didn't push as hard as in Lugano, but still it was an intense workout. And that got me today, 8 weeks to the Valencia Marathon. So what is my plan now? Well, there are 2 things I still need to work on. The first one is I still need to improve my VO2 max a bit in order to be able to run in zone 3 in control a full marathon at 3 minutes and 50 seconds per kilometer pace. This is my target pace. I know if you do the math, it will get you to sub 2:45, but I'm taking into account some room for GPS error, running more than the actual distance because of turns, and also some buffer in case something doesn't go the right way. So my goal again is to run the marathon at 3:50 pace. I need more VO2 max, but I also need to do very specific workouts now, marathon tests, to be able to sustain that pace, especially in the last part of the marathon. Of course, I'm increasing the volume, so now I'm gonna clock about 90 to 800 kilometers per week. The key workouts are long intervals, 4 times 4 kilometers at 3 minutes and 40 seconds per kilometer with a 1 kilometer easy run recovery, 3 times 6 kilometers at an increasing pace with 1 kilometer easy run recovery, 10 times 1 kilometer at 3:30 with 2 minutes recovery. A lot of long intervals, pushing the anaerobic threshold, pushing the VO2 max. And then the specific long marathon pace run. 35 kilometers, 15 kilometers in zone 2, 13 kilometers in zone 3, and 7 kilometers at marathon pace. Another one, 37 kilometers, 21 kilometers at 4 minutes and 10 seconds per kilometers, and then 16 kilometers at marathon pace. The goal here is to simulate the race without the burden and the stress of a full marathon race. Of course, in a perfect world, you would want to test your ability to run at your marathon pace for like 30 kilometers, 35 kilometers, 37 kilometers in order to be confident about that. But that would put too much stress on your body and you will end up tired by the time you want to run your marathon. So the idea here is to generate stress and tiredness on your body by running the first part of these long runs at an easy pace, or in any case slower than the marathon pace, and then doing the final part at marathon pace, so you simulate the stress and the fatigue that you will have at the end of the marathon, especially in the last 10-15 kilometers. This is where the real marathon starts. What I'm looking at is, of course, like keeping that marathon pace, 350, but also run efficiency. I'm running efficiently and running technique, stride per minute, ground to contact time, balance, and vertical ratio. If I'm able to execute well this new training block, then I know that I will be in a place where I can say, yes, I'm gonna run the Valencia Marathon on the 7th of December 2025 in sub 2:45. Let's go!